Mazza che sonno. Addirittura potrei anche uccidere. Ah. Buono. Gelato, no? Muoio così tanto ho bevuto. Missioni. Però la missione...
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
Good day to you.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same paint goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need quicksilver?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits.
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine.
That's all I need to know.
Ah. But when you care to buy something before you go, or play a game, I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
What about this?
Come now. Finally, a reasonable sum. Be a bit more careful.
Ora qua stai.
What is it then?
It's about...
What?
You heard?
I'm damned if you know what you're after. But since you're so keen on challenging me, let's do it.
Wonderful. No, kurwa! If only I were as handy with a sword as with a spinning wheel.
What are you doing with that weapon drawn? Put it away, or I'll go and get a guard. What are you playing at with that weapon?
I've got those herbs you wanted.
Let me see if you have everything. Excellent, you have all the plants. I'll take those from you. And what of the book? Did you remember to bring it?
I certainly did. Here it is.
Thank you for everything. I'll set someone the task of scraping away the old ink and making the herbarium.
It was my pleasure.
My respects to you.
Are you guarding Prokopian?
That's right. Otherwise people...
You're doing good work.
Well, I'm glad someone...
Mazza, colosso. Chiamo il costruttore che non so dove cazzo sia. Guarda.
I'm looking for Leszek. Have you seen him? That skull was a fake, and I'd like to have a word with him about it.
Well, you won't be seeing him now. I put some pressure on him, and he admitted it was all his doing.
He confessed to everything. Why would he do that?
I gave him no choice. He told me he did it, and said he was going to disappear quick before you got to him.
And you just let him go?
He slipped out of my clutches, and I couldn't catch up with him. He's most likely in Kuttenberg by now.
Did you tell anyone about it?
Of course. I went and reported it right away. But I don't know what they're going to do about it.
Bene. Quindi basta così. Ah, boh. E vabbè, posso andarmene a parlare. Perché ti sei incastrato deficiente.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for some quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
What is it?
Jesus Christ be praised.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Nobody. I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground. A lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy.
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon, directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was, without a crest, armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape.
Just for a while, he says.
They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery.
Jesus, another one.
Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did he threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name.
Very well.
Oh.
God save you. What can I do for you? Greetings. What business have you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town. So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
Not yet.
Maybe it would be worth a time.
I'll go and see.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapita.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, master engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving work...
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
My breath is short, my feet are sore, I buy a horse, but I am poor. The sun may burn, the sun may...
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
What can you tell me about this?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly work. And then, apart from me, there's Master Arm.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect...
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach...
Can you tell me something about my...
Well now, there's a master to look up to.
If you don't mind my asking...
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. All right.
What are Zach and Master...
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to... Except that Otto's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer, and they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly.
That will be all. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has...
I hope I can...
Any chance of some work?
Well, come to think, there is one right... He said he'd come from the Holy Land, and he was selling...
I see.
Well, I heard he had some fragments of a sig... But by the time he reached me, he had no pieces left of the sword. All he had was some dubious wares.
And where did the pieces of the sword...
He sold them off to swordsmiths and blacksmiths hereabouts. They just keep them lying around at home for good luck. Can you even imagine what power it would command? If you could get...
Where can I find the power?
Like I said, the smith hereabouts bought them from him. They say the largest piece is with the rat-eyed swordsmith.
I could do with a sword like...
Well, everything has its price, but this one would be
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in...
Do you work any copper here?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmiths' copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to do.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Aha. What can you tell me about this?
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough. And a fair hand. And then there's Master Otter. He used to have talent, but now he's too old.
God be with you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone.
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone.
I see.
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high. Or if it was a judgment on excess.
What's he like, your apprentice?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late.
I don't really know what you mean.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the black... In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel, other than his furious and deeply disappointed master? About your question, you'll find him at home. No doubt feverishly dying.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have an...
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently...
A woman from the back?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry.
Do you have any idea why she did?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bath maid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and act...
Thank you.
Parla con Florian, l'apprendista dell'incisione. Parla con loro e vai. Parla qua, Giuseppe. Madonna.
The sun sets out across the...
Do you ever work with copper?
No, and even if I...
Cazzo stai?
I hear you're at odds with apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor...
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but... And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends.
Where can I find this Florian?
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my...
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came...
I'd like to know more about the...
I'd like to...
And what is it you'd like?
Proper bath.
That can be arranged.
Fine.
I'm sure you'll be extremely...
Jesus Christ, be...
I am honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then? All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That...
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the shit pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. And I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapiter?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapiter waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dice?
They wear out over time. And they have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then...
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to...
Go. I hope you get...
I'm honored that a knight such as you take...
Che cazzo lo fanno? Non detto.
I know you.
What?
Of course, my dream. You...
All right.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true.
Oh, then I'm in...
On the contrary, what's your name?
Oh.
Henry. So, Henry.
What exactly does it...
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study... That's why God has... Wonderful! Oh, glorious day!
So, how do you...
With a test...
Oh.
I have my eye on 3...
Just so we're clear...
Who said anything about...
You said these are valuable things.
Valuable for me, because I know their power and strength.
Oh.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. About that tooth.
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery. And it just so happens, thanks to my...
How did you find out he...
as it happens...
And how am I supposed...
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have...
Wouldn't that be swindling?
It is.
Does it really matter?
Of course it does.
Fine.
Wonderful.
This topping out...
You're not a carpenter.
No, I'm a black...
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce or a conifer tree hung on...
That topping off is...
Naturally.
And how am I supposed to get it?
Damned if I know.
Well...
You don't understand, young man.
Fair enough. Very well. This player's talisman.
I actually have a specific one in mind.
A cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit.
I thought so too.
Oh. How am I supposed to...
I haven't a clue.
I'll get looking for those.
Excellent!
I'm looking for a piece of the...
Are you now?
For me.
A very reason. I have a piece.
And it's from St. Procop.
Well, he was definitely a good fellow.
Sem parlare, Che palle. Via. Ah, il gioco buttato. Ah. Ecco. Già non c'ho voglia. Però il cazzo pure.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity.
Tu giochi mai, un'ora di gioco, questo coglione non salva.
God be with you, lad.
Gioco di merda.
My breath is short, my feet are sore, I buy a horse, but I am poor.
I'm at your service.
What can you tell me?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that. And then, apart from me...
Tell me more about...
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft. No.
My father was...
Of course, any...
Can you tell me something...
Well now, there's a master to look up to.
If you don't mind my ask...
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace.
What are Zach and Master...
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted... Except that Otto's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a... And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otto every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit...
That will be all. Do you ever work with...
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery...
Ma esplodono tutta la...
What shadow is she chasing this time?
Good day to you.
poi corazzare.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Do you make anything out of copper, Master?
I do a bit of Damascene decor sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for someone who could do me some copper sheets.
Well, that's pretty rough and ready work. I wouldn't waste my time with it. But go and ask Zach from the craftsman's yard by the monastery. He's bought up all the copper to be had around here anyway.
What can you tell me about...
Depends which ones you mean. In the town there's Mikesh. He's a decent man and
Tell me something about...
Like I said, he's an honest craft.
What about the monastery?
Well, him and me don't exactly see eye to eye.
That'll be all.
Can you show me how...
Certainly.
I'm interested in...
Wouldn't you rather learn the...
Well...
Coglione, non c'è.
I hope I can...
How goes the work?
Getting...
What are you doing?
You're...
Yeah, but...
Oh...
You've got quite a...
He shared...
Jesus Christ. What's he like?
I
don't...
In any case, why the...
Something like that.
May I ask?
He owes me money.
Naturally.
But...
Sodom and Gomorrah are two...
Thank you, Master. You're most kind. But
If you think he'll have anything to give... About your question, you'll find...
Does Florian have...
A man...
A woman?
Do
you have any...
She was...
Thank you.
Coglione di Fabio che è sparito, mannaggia.
I hope I can be of help to you.
What can you tell me?
Well, there's Mikesh, and then there's Master Otter.
Do you work any cop?
Why'd you ask?
I'm looking into a few.
Looking into things?
I'm on the trail of a gang of counterfeit.
Well, that's a serious business, but to answer you...
That's not what I...
What?
I was told in town that you bought...
By Mikesh and the Master Armourer, am I right? They're forever trying to smear my good name. That's why they said it.
But they don't know I'm investigating anything.
Then they're making things up just for spite. Anything else? I still have work.
So back to that...
What?
Aha.
Roba se trova lo stesso senza farlo.
Can we do something about...
Well...
Is this enough?
Come now. See now? I...
Andiamo ai bagni.
I hear you're at odds.
At odds?
What exactly happened?
This man came and suddenly
I'm sorry.
they shot.
I assume...
You know. And then
Where can I find...
he works.
What did the baby...
Don't.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to.
It sounds like you...
I'd like to
Uh-huh.
get myself fit.
That can be arranged.
Fine.
I'm sure you'll be.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
You look quite...
What?
My name's Henry.
And what do you want?
Straight to the point then? All right. Don't bother.
I can't say anything.
It's got something to do...
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose. Those bastards kidnapped Esther.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course.
I'm sorry about...
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you...
What, so I'm to go...
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything...
Not if I catch Rapiter first.
Yes. They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught me when I went to the shit pile. They started to badger me about...
They?
Yes. Rapiter.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted.
I'm guessing that didn't...
It wasn't all that bad.
Where will I find him?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I...
So he's there now?
Hard to say.
All right. At least I know where to start. And
why?
Because we have to lure him out.
I have my doubt.
How did you hand it?
Rapiter waited.
And did they let you?
Yes.
So at least you know...
Who knows?
More a punch type?
They wear out.
Why didn't you tell...
At first
I suppose I'd...
Go.
Alle stai oggi.
My respects to you. Are there any problems?
Nothing I've heard about.
The service is a bit slow here today.
Figlio di puttana, vieni qua.
Are you Rapiter by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know that you spy on Florian. I know you were involved in the kidnapping of the bathmaid, and I know why you're doing it all.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course, of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time. No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Bronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me you just took it into his head one day to stop doing things.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
An honourable death? No chance. It's the dungeons for you, and the sort of punishment a counterfeiter deserves.
Are you serious?
Good day to you.
E piove. Cazzo di gioco piove di continuo.
For half a groschen, I'll tell you your fortune.
All right then, tell me.
What the hell?
Here we are.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
Ho già armato questo.
are you doing here? Tired of life?
What?
Well,
Hey, all of you, gather here! Raise the alarm! I'm over here.
I hope you're
You're dead. Now you're dead. The answer to my prayer. I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Come.
Oh, chi t'ha muerto?
You'll get what
That hurt. Fuck.
No, guarda, se quello mi dà una mano, guarda. Porca Dio, guarda. E muori. Ah, sto gioco che non salva mai, guarda. Lo stronzo dove cazzo te n'è andato? Ah, vabbè. Che palle.
Are you Rappator?
Pardon me?
No, but I'm hoping to... It'll only take a moment. I know that you spy on... None.
Of course, of course.
So?
I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems. That doesn't narrow it down.
On the eastern side.
Who is your lord?
Sir Yezhek of Ronov.
What happened to him?
Ronov.
Why?
But Vincent, all be Sir Yezhek.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me.
And how did you...
I helped.
So you saw...
I thought if...
Well, after this little...
It's all...
So who's the Yesh...
That's not...
Such as?
We were often...
And apart from that?
In the camp.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you...
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death.
An honourable death.
sto coglione.
I finally... Master Feifar was right. The entrance is on the east. I've no idea what to expect there.
I will be glad to give.
God knows who
The answer
shit
to
that
my
from
prayer.
apart from the bats.
Just when I wanted to vent my rage at someone.
All of you, gather here! Raise the alarm!
What's the matter? Come on!
Quick! Raise the alarm! Watch
Arma maledetto.
Got weak at the knees, have you?
You're dead.
I'll slaughter you!
I'm going to enjoy this.
Come here, lily liver.
Sentiamo.
What's the matter? Come on.
Non frequento. Già quando dici giochini non frequento.
Is that all you've got?
Io che? Ma il coglione che mi sono portato, dove sta?
You asked for it. Fuck this!
You call that combat?
Lo posso combattere contro 5 cristiani? Non è possibile.
Bring it on!
What have we got?
Best you could do?
Entertainment.
Great.
Ah, ti sei legnato di venire.
Gone weak at the knees, have you? Had enough.
What's the matter? Come on. Enough! You win!
Guarda, se ne scappano, maledetti. Di puttana, muore. Figlio di puttana, muori. Monnezza, diciamo, no? Diciamo pure monnezza, diciamolo. L'interesse è per anche se e quando lo faranno. A parte che l'hanno pure rinviato. Quello combatte ancora. Minchia. No, guarda, non ci sto dietro. È molto prossimo onestamente. Ma veramente schifo. Ah, che sono troppo fake.
Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here? I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila. And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that!
I have no choice. as you are aware.
Haven't got time to waste.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason. My master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Regole.
You can tell your lord the man is dead. He'll never find out.
But he will. Or do you think you can lock this man away from sight until Judgment Day?
Why not?
Do not be naive, boy. Look around you. This land swarms with rats and snakes, especially now. There is no secret that is not for sale. If I let you have him, my own head will be on a spike before the month is out.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kubila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement. You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfire is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfire. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rate then.
Did I tell you about my wife's lace making?
No, I didn't know she did that.
She only started not long ago. Always in the evening, while there's still a bit of light.
Has something happened?
I'm interested in your...
Uh-huh. And what do you...
Ah,
But of course.
fine.
I'm sure you...
I'm not touching you till you're scrubbed down.
All right. No need to make a fuss.
Two more for all the time I had to wait.
God be with you.
Is there any work here?
No, I'm not looking for... Jesus! Look where you going!
I'm honored that
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me.
some extra pairs of hands would be useful.
My friends, two survivors of...
And why should I take that?
They're experienced carpenters.
Oh, why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's Thomas, my foreman. Tries his best, but they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take...
I'm from Scallots, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines.
In the Scouts' mines? Tell them I'll give them a chance.
Madonna. Ragazzi, il gioco quanto piove, ragazzi. Quanto piove. Diciamo che piove sempre. Sì, guarda.
Please, help me.
What happened to you?
Terrible things, sir. Terrible. Those devils are hide in the woods. Can you help me?
Of course.
May God...
Exactly. magari. Cos'è che vuoi da me?